What is up, YouTube? Welcome back. Today we're going to make this. This is the aortic arch. We've got the brachiocephalic artery, we got the left common carotid artery, and the left subclavian artery. It's very interesting that the heart has 3 arteries coming off the aortic arch instead of 2 or instead of 4. Very unusual. I just watched a cool YouTube video about that and learned how to pronounce those words. Here we go. This is where I'm at and this is where we left off. I've got the heart. It has the left atrium with 4 pulmonary veins. Got the left atrium, kidney bean shaped part of the left atrium. On top of that, pulmonary trunk splits into 2 and then splits once more with 1 more artery up here. Okay, so that is what we're looking at. And what I want to get is add this. So I rolled out a slab off camera. Oh no. And I've got to determine about the length of the aortic arch. I'm gonna start off with more clay than I need, and please note the thickness of the slab. It's pretty thin. Okay, cool. And I'm gonna use a straight edge to trim some of this excess material. Alright, I've got a large rectangle. Okay, got my tube. I'm going to do the arch now. Now the tricky thing with the arch is if I just bend on this tube, it's gonna crack, it's gonna break. I'm probably not gonna be able to get that full bend. So there are 2 things that I'm gonna do that will help. First, I'm gonna compress the clay along the length of the tube, aligning the clay particles so that when I bend, they can stretch out. Minimal water is used. You can tell the clay is not too shiny. It's still matte. I'll be able to bend it a bit, but I'm paying real careful attention to when it's starting to crack and when the tube starts to collapse, like right here. There's a little kink in the tube. Okay, That's all right. Let's also double check to make sure it's about the right size. It does look a little big, so I will use the top half of this. Here's my trusty dental floss, because we're in quarantine and we might not have our wire tools. Cutting at an angle, just as I did before. That looks about right. So I'm going to start bending this, and as soon as it starts to crack, I know I'm going to need to do the second step. The second step is to cut some darts. I'm going to cut 3 darts. 3 darts. This is going to be tricky. I'm going to use the dental floss because it's very thin. I'm going to hold this tube on the side with my fingers, and then, here, let me zoom in. How about that? Yeah. Zoom in. Think. Cool. I'm going to hold the side with my fingers here, and then I'm going to push down. This is going to be tricky. Hold it tight. Go straight down. And I'm going to cut a little triangle. Watch this, guys. Holding it tight, holding it from the sides. Cool. I'm gonna cut a little wedge out, and let's see where we're at. Being very gentle. Look, I've got a little bit more arch, so I'm gonna do 2 more cuts. Make sure I'm on camera here. Cut and lift. Cut and lift. Cut and lift. Cut and lift. Now I've got a tube that is bent. And yeah, it did get a little flat, so I'm gonna fix that. But meantime, I'm gonna get all of the darts wet. I might even trim off a little bit more on this side. Now if you've got a knife or a wire knife, that will work even better. But we use what we got. We do what we can, we use what we got when we're in quarantine. I actually have a wire knife, but I just wanted to show that you can do it with dental floss. It's totally doable. Okay. Push these all together. And I'm reaching my finger inside, and I'm really trying to push the piece together. Make sure that I'm compressing all of the clay in the joints. Let me zoom right on out. Okay. So this is kind of a tricky piece. This is one of the more tricky parts of the clay. Probably the trickiest part. How do you make a curving tube? Well, this is one way. So what I will do is I'll smooth out the joints here, and then I'll add the 3 arteries on top and score it on. Cool, thanks for watching.